Whoa, did you see Cult of the Lamb dev Massive Monster says it will delete the roguelike on January 1st following Unity's plan to charge game makers per player download? I didn't. I mean, Unity's plan to charge developers per player download is one of the most psychotic things I've seen in business, I think, in my entire life. I think that it means that to become a ethical gamer, I will continue to purchase games for sure, but I will never install them. Like Bill Clinton smoked that shit, but he never inhaled. Same thing. Game comes out. First off, I'm not going to read reviews anymore because reviewers had to install the game, which means that they cost the developers money. Maybe they make up for it on the back end if the review is good, but if the review is bad, that's a serious ethical complication that I'm honestly just not sure if I'm qualified to deal with. Thank you for letting me live. Buy it and pirate it. Brother, if you pirate it, you're still installing it. I did also see that the CEO of Unity was the same guy who was the CEO of EA when he joked that they were going to charge users $1 to reload their gun in Battlefield. It's just the most insane, like, completely idiotic. Like, the guy's been in the games industry for 20 years. I'm not saying he might be great at being a CEO from a business perspective. I imagine that, listen, this is very efficient market hypothesis, Pilled, okay? But, like, I'm imagining Unity stock probably looks a lot like every tech company stock, which is like 2018, 2019, it did fine. And then in 2020, it was like, ah! And then it was like, whoa! And then it would, like, since then, it's just been like, sorry, I'm on the wrong side. But I don't know, maybe he's making the brips brippier and the dips ain't so dippy. I'm not really qualified to discuss it. It's not really my area of expertise. Unity has lost $750 in market cap since the announcement. So listen, like, fuck Unity. But at the same time, I hate when people do that. Because, like, the market just, I mean, you could say that about, there were days last year the NASDAQ was down like 3% in a day. Google didn't do shit. You'd be like, they lost like $400 billion in market cap today. It's not all, you know, there's ebbs and flows, some of which maybe are more likely to relate to announcements than others. I always laugh whenever, like, Nintendo announces Pikmin 3 and people were like, Nintendo stock's surging. They've added $108 million in market cap. And you're like, it's because Jerome Powell was wearing a blue suit, bro. You don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, I'm getting too real about it. Tell that to the CEO who sold a huge amount of stock before announcing the changes. I saw that it was 2,000 shares, okay? Someone in chat said 50,000. One of us is right, or maybe we're both wrong. I was going to say the dude probably has like 8 private jets. 2,000 shares of Unity stock is not going to move the needle for him. He was probably buying groceries, okay? It was $75,000 in shares. You don't want me to give my opinion on that. I'm just saying. If a dude you've been following on Wall Street Bets sold 2,000 shares before he told you to buy, then you would be like, what the hell, bro? You rugged me. But if John Riccitello does it, I mean, that was written into a schedule like 18 months ago or something. I'm not just saying you have to hand it to him, by the way. NL ranking dropping faster than Unity stock. Hang on. Google Finance Unity. And then set duration 2023, 22, 21. Okay. 5 years. Oh, I don't think so. Unity stock was at $196.65 on November 12th, 2021. And now it's at $36.82. I think that's like an 85% decrease if you really cherry pick the data. My ranking is merely down like 2%. Did they stock split? No, it's just everything tech related went insane during the pandemic and then like got insanely destroyed after the pandemic, and then they're still like, figuring it out. They also didn't go public till post-pandemic? What are you talking about? Willis? They went public? Oh, well, it depends what you consider post-pandemic. September 18th, 2020. I guess I would call that peri-pandemic. Nice shift. That will totally keep management off my you-know-what for 2 whole minutes. Speaking of wasting time, you've been deemed trustworthy enough for email access. Have fun. Can you respond to these emails? Imagine if it was my real email inbox. MilkGong press release. Dear press, if you're reading this, it means we finally found a way to communicate to those outside of purgatory. We apologize for the lack of updates on MilkGong, our upcoming hit indie title, but we've been in what most would call development hell. Ha ha ha! We've been hard at work, shackled to our chairs in this unforgiving infinity, and are excited to finally announce we have given up on the possibility of ever releasing this game. Part of that has to do with the inability to purchase a Unity license in Purgatory. Great timing on this one. Actually, that's pretty much the only reason. So if anyone can get us a copy of Unity, we promise we'll release MilkGong within the next decade. Max, we swear. For immediate release. Okay, that's a Silk Song reference. That's funny. Okay, hang on. My actual email inbox is open in the background. That's freaking me out. I think I did that myself, though. I'll be an awkward lawnmower. When my Ryobi starts to lose power after 8 minutes of mowing my lawn. You have a Ryobi lawnmower? Yeah? You got a problem? You have a lawn? I know, it's pretty sick. You shouldn't have a lawn, you should just have clover. It supports the natural ecosystem. Listen, motherfucker, okay? You know how people say tipping culture went too far? Too fast? And as a reaction to that, now people are like, I'm never tipping on anything. People don't want to hear it, but that's kind of where I'm at with like the increasing moralization of every process on Earth. Like, you gotta take it bit by bit. There's a lot of things wrong with the world, okay? There's a lot of structures in place that keep horrible people in power. We gotta dismantle that, okay? Just leave the lawns alone so we can focus on the big problems first. Because as soon as you're like, every time you talk to somebody, you're like, I was mowing my lawn. They're like, mowing your lawn? Oh, you have grass? Actually, did you know grass is bad for the environment? It's all fucking bad, bro! We gotta focus on the stuff that's heinous first. And then we can start to work. It's like someone's unhealthy and you're like, well, the secret to running a marathon is this. No, just fucking go for a walk first, okay? Once we master the walking and we normalize that for ourselves, then we can start planting clover and stuff like that. It's not mutually exclusive. Yeah, but your ass isn't doing any of it. And then when I say that, you're like, well, I apologize for the fact that I can't buy a house because of the housing crisis. And I'm like, literally, you're just building a box where you yourself are, you know, spinning your way out of all criticism whatsoever and just deflecting it upwards. Like, it's out of control. You got to be something I can criticize you for. You're criticizing me for going outside, you know, once every 2 weeks and going, bzzz. Meanwhile, we got a fucking garden in the back. Bees are flying all over it, going, pollinating fucking all over the place. Meanwhile, now we're in a world, 35% is the minimum tip on takeout. And grass is canceled. Can we just start with making sure that John Riccitelli is no longer the CEO of Unity tomorrow, and then work backwards from there? But and I recognize I'm on a website that has been purchased by Amazon. But listen, as soon as your company becomes acquired, it's cooked. I'm calling it right here. It might take a little longer for it to be cooked if it doesn't go public. But if you get acquired by a public company, your company is fucking... It's just a matter of time. If it gets acquired by a private company and they're only there's less awareness of the liquidity there because you're not seeing the valuation change every single day. But I think there's a cycle, man. It's like founders are like, we want to do something like good for the world. And then they build it and then the valuation goes fucking nutty and there's no awareness. Wait, let me rephrase. There's no expectation that it will become profitable while those people are still at the company, but it doesn't matter because... And then the founders have an incentive to sell at insane valuations. They get their... That's the end state for a computer science degree from a good American university, is selling your company for, you know, you get a payout in the hundreds of millions of dollars. You fuck off and... start snorting ayahuasca and, you know, dealing with the damage you've done to the world, unless you're Mark Zuckerberg, which in a way is kind of respectable that this guy is just riding it out. I'm not saying you got to hand it to him, but I'm like, this guy could have, at any point, he could have been like, I'm done with Facebook, but he's a true believer, which is madness. But anyway, listen, where am I going with this one? Either way, then a new CEO comes in who used to be the fucking CEO of Dunkin' Donuts or something like that. He knows nothing about the business whatsoever. And they're like, I know people normally don't like when the big bad private equity comes in and starts going, but we're going to stay true to the values that made this company great to begin with. And then 2 years later, they're like, we're charging for oxygen. Every time you take a breath, what, you don't think it's worth paying for oxygen? Come on, man, you need it to live. Which is why I will never sell twitch.tv/Northernlion to a multinational public Fortune 500 company. I will only sell to private equity who offers me well in excess of what it's actually worth, so I never have to worry about working again. My wife's got a yellow moon on Discord. What am I supposed to do? Saw it and then I saw it say, yellow moon means she's away. None of you stand so tall. Yellow moon means no Discord call. It's a yellow moon. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yellow, yellow, yellow moon.